Gauteng Premier David Makhura says that the fight against corruption remains an uphill battle as people are willing to kill to protect their ill-gotten gains. The Premier released the province's State of Integrity and Anti-Corruption report this morning. The report considered the work of independent anti-corruption agencies, including Corruption Watch and the Ethics Institute. For more on this, we are joined by Govan Whittles, who was there when the report was released. Govan, this makes me think of people like Babita Deokaran, right, here in the province of Gauteng. What else was discussed in this report?
Well, today's session was actually dedicated to Babita Deokaran, and there was a lot of time spent talking about whistleblowers and the need to protect them at the release of this report by the Gauteng Ethics Advisory Council. It's a special council because it advises the Executive Council, the Premier and his cabinet members, the MECs, on which action to take following damning reports that either highlight, expose corruption or recommend certain steps to be taken to prevent corruption or act against corruption. And it's also set out the scale of corruption in Gauteng and also the scale of the infrastructure that's meant to prevent it and combat it. With me now is the head of one Chapter 9 institution, Mr. Advocate Andy Motibi. He's the head of the SIU, here to talk to us about what he's discussed in this presentation. Advocate, you mentioned how an investigation that started in Gauteng related to PPE eventually led to a national proclamation, and in that way you were able to scale up your investigation, and I understand you have another one similar to that coming. What is it, and just tell us about that.
No, thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, our partnership with the Gauteng government, and I use partnership in the sense that we all are committed to fighting corruption. We started off on a secondment agreement which is allowed by the SIU Act to go in and investigate on certain matters and allegations. So we started off in the Department of Health at the time around 2018 or so. We started investigating there. Came 2019. Late 2019, when the COVID-19 hit, we started also investigating all the PPE allegations. So at that time already, I mean, you mentioned here that the Premier said this session was dedicated to Babita Deokaran. She was also a very important person and the key witness that we worked with in terms of the provision of the information, and we're really pleased that this session is dedicated to her, and we have really ensured that we continue to protect the witnesses, and there's a dedicated process in the Department of Justice to review the witness protection legislation, which we welcome. So as we were investigating these PPE allegations at the time, then came around February, March of 2020. That's when the state of disaster was declared, and the government then declared that state of disaster. The National Treasury issued the regulations to procure, but by that time already there were also allegations coming from other provinces. But we had started from Gauteng, and then we developed a national proclamation with the President signed. We've got another similar process again starting in Gauteng, but we have done some work also in the Eastern Cape on the medico-legal. Medico-legal, really, you would be aware of that. That is where lawyers and medical practitioners would be involved in the claims against the state, and some of those claims we found that they are fraudulent, and they are really on a wide scale, and we have now started even receiving it from other provinces. So if you look at the report that was issued today, in particular page 27 of the report, there it shows to you that a proclamation has been prepared so that it becomes a national proclamation to investigate similar medico-legal corruption irregularities in other provinces, and the proclamation, the draft proclamation, is in the process of being processed for signature.
Okay, thank you so much. We are out of time, Advocate, but that's just one of the ways in which Gauteng, again, trying to take the lead in setting up not only this report, which outlines what needs to be done, but giving a comprehensive status update in terms of how far SIU reports are and how far matters are that were referred to the NPA as well for criminal investigation. The Premier is also inside, as well as a host of other Chapter 9 institution representatives and corruption busters, and we'll be speaking to them to get some insight into exactly how they plan to roll out this fight against corruption. One of them, just as we leave, is that they've already finished lifestyle audits for all of the MECs in the Gauteng government, and the outcome of those lifestyle audits are expected to be released fairly soon, according to the Premier. It's back to you for now.
That would be very interesting. Govan Whittles, let's leave it there for now.